Hello class. Today I'm with the Sumerian. Hi. Today we'll be doing an interview. So let's start. First question, what's it like living there? Well, it's kind of rocky and it's a little bit hard to get around, but we have animals that we can ride. Next question, have any of you invented anything? Well, we made something called the plow. It's like a bootleg tractor. It's where you get like two animals or more and you get a carrier and you tie them to the carrier and let them run over the crops with a gardening tool at the end of it, and then the garden gets better. Fascinating. Okay, next question. How do you get your food and water? We go to the river and then we dig a tunnel all the way into our gardens, so then we get the water from there, and as the time goes by, we somehow get gardens. So here we have writing. How do you people write? Well, we have this thing called a stylus. It's where we get the end of a stick and then we make the end pointy. And then we get some clay, and it has to be wet clay. We get the wet clay, put the stylus into the clay, and then you're writing. Okay. What do you guys do for fun? Well, we usually draw stuff and write stuff in our clay, and we have this thing called clay painting. We have this thing called cave paintings. That's where we go in a cave and like paint pictures of stuff that we usually like or do, and yeah. Okay, what do you do for currency? Well, we sell animals and stuff, like we sell objects like wet clay so people could write, and we mostly sell like donkeys and horses and like some animals so that we could trade them for one person to give currency, the other person to have a better gardening tool. Okay, that's cool. What do you people like usually wear most of the time? Well, we usually wear bright furry clothing. Some of us have like bright clothing in general, like so that we're always ready for anything to happen, like a cold time. If it's super cold, then we already have the fuzzy clothes, or yeah. And we always like wear appropriate clothing for all the prayers that we do to Ziggurat. So, what do people usually eat? Well, we usually eat what we could farm or find. We ate like wheat, berries, fruits, lentil beans, normal beans, and sometimes we eat animal meat, but we can't like actually afford to kill the animals and eat them, because sometimes we need the animals to actually farm more food. So most of the time we eat veggies and vegetables. Wait, I just said that. We eat like beans, fruits, like mostly all the stuff that we can find in crops. They're very good for you, and yeah. Okay, so is there anybody else famous in the community? Well, there's this person called Babylon and Gilgamesh. They both fought, and one is called the Epic of Gilgamesh. There was this like war between like them, and they were fighting, and one of them got stabbed in the heart with a sword, the Excalibur, I think. So then one of them got killed, and the other one was now the king. Well, we've been talking about the inside of the city. How about the outside? Well, yeah, most of us live in the inside, but part of the outside belongs to us. Most of the crops and the water that we get to make our gardens are there. We go outside to connect the tunnels from the rivers to get our water, and to make the gardens for the animals to drink and make the crops themselves too. Yeah, we have a pretty big kingdom. There's a lot of history to it. Yeah, there's a lot of things about it. So, what did you guys do for entertainment? For entertainment, we usually throw parties, celebrate anything special, or like dance everywhere. We'd have a festival and eat some of the crops that we have planted. Like, we usually dance everywhere. We eat we eat like everything, and we just throw a huge party for anybody that's close to us, our family members, our friends, anybody. We have a party with them, and even some of the people that we don't know. If we didn't know them, that we would try to get to know them better so they can be a friend and they would be part of the party, and we would all have so much fun, and we would play we would play games, and yeah. Well, we were talking about all of the people and how they've been and stuff, but I want to know, what is your favorite food in particular? Like, just your favorite foods. Like, your favorite foods, desserts, snacks, like anything. Like, yeah, what's your favorite food? Well, I like veggies and rice and curry. Like, that's my favorite. It's dope. You should try it. Some of the other foods that are snacks that I like are like veggies, like apples, like some of the usual foods that people eat, like crops, and yeah, it's like you get like a bunch of veggies and fruits, and you put it inside a bowl, and then you can take whichever fruit you want. For me, I like all of the fruits, and some of the veggies I don't really like all of the veggies, and yeah, but most of them are really good, very, very tasty. So yeah, that's my favorite, at least. Well, I usually wear like comfy clothing. I like this hat. It's really fuzzy and it's comfortable for anything. It's like really comfortable, and it's bright, which is cool too. And I like the scarf, because this scarf, it's really comfy scarf. Yeah, it's just a comfy scarf. Sometimes when I go to parties, I wear exactly this because why not? Well, there's nobody else in particular, but there's, like, we already talked about the Gilgamesh and the Babylon, and for me, I don't have that much family members. I just have 4 and a bunch of cousins. But for the Gilgamesh thing and all the famous people, well, there's not like particular people. There's like groups or clans. There's like 2 clans I remember. It's the Assyrians and the Hittites. They both were 2 different clans and 2 different kingdoms. They have different pasts and what happened. Yeah, so there was different places and different things that they did. Was there anything you missed about the Hittites and the Assyrians, or anything like that you missed? Actually, yeah, there was this one group called the the Kassites. They were sort of like the Hittites, the Assyrians, but they were like sort of different. Like, they had different kingdoms, or yeah. And then there's also another one called the Fenneckins or the English. They were like other part, the other part. They were like they built canoes and then they made boats for transportation around the water, so that the people could cross the land and get to the other side of rivers. And they built the canoes also to catch fish for their meals and to get water for all the donkeys, the animals, the horses, the people too, so they can drink, because everybody needs water. Because if you didn't drink water, then you would be dead.